Just Being Me podcast. Your girls, Margot and Mary. No one can give you wisdom. You must discover it for yourself on the journey through life, which no one can take for you. There are so many wonderful secrets and science in the world we can use as tools to better our lives. Some of them have been hidden from us, others have been flatly rejected. We have rejected our own culture and traditions, yet without investigation, we accept the world of others as truth. When we close any portion of our minds, we close off a part of the world. It is fear that keeps us locked in. It is hopelessness, or is it stubbornness? How can the descendants of geniuses be so close to new information? How can the children of the first civilization be lost and hopeless? What will it take before we open our hearts and minds to the world that awaits us? What would our ancestors think if they saw us lost and struggling, unable to do with so much more than they had? Today I will open myself to another part of the world.
That was
I like that. That is true. Like, our ancestors would probably look at us and be like, you guys have so much technology and so many things further than what we had, and y'all not doing nothing with it.
Like, ain't doing nothing with it. Ain't doing nothing with it.
Yes. Hey y'all, welcome to episode 96 of the Just Being Me podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and we missed y'all last week. We skipped a week because I got busy, and I'll talk to y'all about that in my weekend review. But Miss Mary is here on the box.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, hello there. I can't say thank you for tuning in last week, because if you did, you listened to a repeat, which is great. There's no problem. I hope you guys listened to all 95 of the of the other podcasts. But continue to spread the word to your friends and family about our podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Podcast Addicts, and Amazon Music under Podcasts. All right, y'all. So we just gonna jump into it because we done had 2 little weekends pass us by. Let me see, where's my music at? What you do this weekend? Miss Mary, what did you do this weekend?
I'm trying to think, what did I do this weekend?
Man, we had 2 of them that just passed us up.
Jeez, man. One of the weekends, I had a friend over for dinner.
Mm-hmm. You cooked?
Yeah. Last weekend, what did I do? I don't remember what I did last weekend.
Huh.
I can't even remember what I did. Oh, yes, I do. I remember.
What did you do?
I went to my sister's house. She made some, what did she make? She made some spare ribs in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
And so she called me and said, come over and eat. So I went over there and hung out for a minute, and I ate and everything. And then, what else did I do? That was on Sunday. I don't know what I did on Saturday. I can't remember what I did on Saturday. I think I did my hair on Saturday. No, I didn't do my hair on Saturday. I don't even remember what I did.
They go so fast.
You know what I did? I did laundry. I did laundry on Saturday. I know I did that. Oh, you know what? I went to the market. That's what I did. I went to the market and I did laundry on Saturday. Just domestic things.
Mm-hmm.
I did That's what I did. And then I went to my sister's house to eat her spare ribs. That's exactly what I did.
That sounds
Yes.
good. Spare ribs. I'm hungry right now, so I'm just like,
They were good too. They were so good. I'm like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
They were good. The only thing is I'm not a sauce person.
Oh, okay.
I'm a seasoning person. Now you should see, I think your food should be so seasoned to the point where I don't need any sauce.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just don't like a lot of barbecue sauce on my stuff. I just don't like sauces.
And I'm the opposite. I love sauce. Even if your meat is good. Now, if it's good, I could eat. If you don't have no sauce, I'll go ahead and eat it. But I like a good barbecue sauce. I like sauce. I'm like sauces. That's my downfall. Is the dang on sauce.
Yeah. So I wish mine, what I ate, I wish it didn't have sauce on it, but it was good. It was good all the same. She did a good job with the seasoning and everything. I just prefer mine not to have sauce on it. But it was really good. It was good.
Cool. You know, my weekend, my weeks, since we didn't come on. So we didn't come on last week because we did a soft open for the Pastrami On The Run brand. And
that's right. Yeah,
that weekend before. And I thought I was gonna be able to, run and come in, do the podcast, and then jump off and go over there and help set up or whatever. But the setup for that weekend got to be a little bit way more than I was ready for. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, it's the beginning. I have to get over here because we needed to make stuff and get stuff prepped because I had to go to work that Friday, and then we started that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was just a lot to do. So I ended up going in, and which is why we wasn't on here last week. And then it went into the whole all this week. So anyway, the soft open was really well. It went really well. We got a lot of people that came out and supported us. We are on all of the delivery apps, so we gained new customers because they was flipping through Uber Eats or Grubhub, and it's like, okay, well, let's try Pastrami On The Run, and we got orders from people, and it was really something amazing, and we really are looking forward to our official opening on June 1st. We just gonna we gotta be ready to go, and we learned a lot.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
We learned a lot.
I mean, sometimes you gotta go through stuff to learn it.
Yeah. We really learned it. We learned the rhythm that we needed to have. It was just myself and my partner, my guy, and his nephew, and we were able to create a rhythm so that we can get these orders out. And I had them stay on. Not I had them, but they stayed, and we agreed to stay on this week because I work a 9-to-5. And it's no way that I'm going to be in that kitchen with them. Like the weekend, I'm in there, I'm doing, and they working around me. But when me not being there, I needed them to feel and figure out their rhythm during the week. And that's what they've done all this week. And they have really done a really great job to the point where I can't relax because I'm doing the business side of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing the business part, but I feel comfortable with them there and not me being there. I have to let go.
Now, didn't you have another person coming in? A young lady?
We do, but we kind of pulled back on it because the kitchen is small. It's a small kitchen. And it really, if you have 4 people in there or with 3 people, it'll work. With 4 people, it may be a little bit too much. But right now, because we are paying his nephew, so that money is not coming in. So we really can't afford to bring somebody else and pay them too, because we're not even making money. So we're trying to figure out, what our real flow is going to be, and then we'll bring some. Right now, like I said, I'm thankful for his nephew because he being there. We've opened at 12. We opened from 12. And we've been closing around 9 because it starts to get slow. We schedule it from 12 to 12, but then, it gets slow because we're new. and nobody is coming through or whatever, or like a little bit, like maybe one to come through in an hour, and then we sit for a minute and clean up and do stuff. So
right.
It's like, okay, well, shoot, I gotta go to work in the morning, so if we can close early, we can do that. So I've been doing that, but it's been a really great experience. I'm looking forward to it. It's actually I'll talk more about it in my rave, because I have a rave about the whole thing. Yes, no rant, just a rave. Last night I had a show at the North Hollywood Federal Bar, and it was amazing. It was a full show. Like, we were inside, and there were people who wanted to get out and see a show, and it was packed. It was really packed. And I appreciate that. When I walked in, it was like half the room was packed, and then as the time came to get closer to the show, it started to fill up, and I was like, okay, we about to do a show, y'all. We about to do a whole show.
So how many comedians did you have on the show?
There was probably about, I went ninth, so it was probably about 12.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was probably like 12. Mm-hmm.
That was a big show.
My parents were in the audience. They came out to support me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was a good show, because they were able to. My mom, she is the one that kept asking, when are you doing another show? When is your next show? When is your next show? And I was like, oh, I told my dad, I said, hey, my next show is coming up. So they came on out to support me. So I appreciated that.
That's not.
Yeah. And then that's all I've done for all these, was just Pastrami On The Run. All right, let's jump into, let's talk. Where's my, I keep losing my stuff. Let's talk about it. Let me see this one. Okay, so let's talk about it. So in the news today, I think it was today, Bill Cosby was, he petitioned for the petition for his parole was denied because he refused to participate in a therapy program for sexually violent predators. So he got denied because he said that in his eyes he is innocent, and he does not want to participate in that program, which would have made him eligible for parole on September 25th of this year, because he had a 3 to 10 year prison sentence, and he's already done 3 years. But he said he's innocent, and he knew that they were going to reject his petition if he didn't go through with the sexually violent predators program. He didn't want to do it. He said no. He said he's innocent, and don't come after me. I don't know if he did it or he didn't do it, but in his head, he feels like that he is innocent. And if you feel like you are innocent and you're going to have to participate in a sexually violent predator program, I mean, that's a lot. If you don't feel like you're a sexually violent predator.
Exactly. I mean, why would he? I wouldn't take the class either. Mm-hmm. So just so that they can have it in my records to say he took the class, so you know what, he must feel he's a predator.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
No.
Yep.
No, I don't think I would have taken it either.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't. He said, no, I'm not going to be able to do that.
And with his case, I mean, okay, he could be a predator, but he wasn't violent.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, I don't think he was violent. What, he put something in their drink, a roofie or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He should have...
They do that on college campuses.
Okay. And they don't have to take a sexually violent...
You know what it means? Their parents get them off, girl. They never see the inside of a courtroom.
Okay. Pay that little money and be out of there. And grow up to be CEOs and Donald Trumps, you know?
Exactly. There you go.
Oh man. Let's see. We just celebrated the anniversary of George Floyd's death. Well, we didn't celebrate, but they recognized his death. And I actually have that in the Bullshit and Beauty, so I don't say too much about that, but it's just it's just too much. It's just, the family went over to the White House. Biden invited them over. They're trying to get a bill passed, the George Floyd bill or whatever it is. It's just sad. It's just, that, and this is what my bullshit is, and then I'll talk more on it in that point, but it's just sad that something so tragic has to happen in order for people to actually see us or try to do something to support us. Like, a whole lot of people gotta die or get sick or something in order for them to give us a little piece of something. It's not a whole thing. It's just, here, because it's the flavor of the month right now, and if I do this, then I can be seen this way or whatever, so I'm going to be involved in it. And then, so what about next year, and what about the rest of this year, and what about tomorrow, and what about 2 years from now? Are you going to really be involved in any of this? No, you're not, because it's the flavor of the month right now, flavor of the year. So, I'm glad we get a little sparkle, but we always know that in their minds it's going to be dulled real soon. They flip to something else.
Yeah, and I just think too, I like that they're keeping it, in the forefront. Mm-hmm. Hoping to get something passed, a bill, mm-hmm. something, law, whatever. There's a big difference. But they know that they have to do something, but, it's a battle. It's a battle because there are a lot of people that don't want to see the police organization as bad people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They don't want to do that. So it's hard for them to pass bills and laws against the people that are supposed to be protecting us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, sometimes I just don't feel like really nothing's going to be done, mm-hmm. because if he does something, he has to do it right, because if he does it wrong, the next president is going to come in and just knock it off. Yeah. Just like as we witnessed what Trump did to all Obama's things. Right. Yep. So we got to do it right if we're going to do something, and we have to learn how to do things right, and we need to stop getting excited when they say that, they're going to do this and do that. We have to know what that means, because sometimes it means absolutely nothing. It's just all talk. It's just all talk. It's just all talk. Right. And, pass a law then. We need a law. Right. Yeah. We need a law. Yeah. That's what we need. Mm-hmm. And they need to really do something about, police reform and everything, because this is just not one case. I mean, this man's file was thick. You know what I mean? Yeah. I believe that he had 19 other cases where he overstepped his boundaries as a police officer. And they did absolutely nothing. They did nothing to that man up until, he actually killed, mm-hmm. Mr. Floyd. Right. And in other cities, how many of those do we have in those police stations that they do nothing about? Yeah. Yeah. They do absolutely nothing about. They don't. And if they would have done something about it, George would have been alive today. Yep, exactly. Because that man wouldn't have been on the force, and he wouldn't have been able to do what he did. Exactly. So, there's just so many stories to read about sometimes that don't even make the news. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Of tragic things that happen to people, the way they do, people, especially people of color. I mean, we can talk about this until we're blue in the face, but a lot of stuff don't even come to the television. Right. Some things, we just have to read, in different states and different cities and things like that happen that's really horrific.
Right.
It goes on for years in the police department, in the prisons, and things like that. Nothing ever happens. I mean, just like in Philadelphia, that man came in there. What was he? He was a new DA or something, and he started firing everybody because he found out that they were lying and falsifying cases, and I mean everything. And they get mad at him because he's the new guy in town, and he was appointed to the position, and he's letting them all go. He's firing every one of them from all the cases that they screwed up.
Right.
And they were dirty, and they were walking out of there like they were done so wrong. But they forgot all the wrong that they did to innocent people.
Yeah.
But see, they didn't think that way because it didn't matter because those people were black and brown. So what's your problem? We didn't get caught.
Right.
But you did it.
You did it.
They did. It was like they didn't understand that. But they didn't bring that up to the they did bring it up in the news, but they didn't stick on it.
Right.
They kind of talked about it for maybe like a night and that morning, and that was it. Because they don't like you to talk about dirty cops or DAs and they don't want you to talk about that.
Right.
It's really sad.
It is.
They just need to go back and just reform all of it.
Yeah. Things have changed over the times, and they need to get with the times and change a lot of those laws, a lot of those acts, a lot of those bills, a lot of all of that. You all need to just come into the what? We in the 21st century? Are we in the 21st century? Yeah. You need to come on, because we, some of them laws, most of them laws did not have black people in mind. It was to support white people, to keep black people out of a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, change it. It needs to be changed, revised, reviewed, something. Do something.
It just needs to be fair.
Yeah. It needs to be fair.
Just make it fair.
Yep. It doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a culture. It just has the law. If anybody does this is what happens. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, where you from, or nothing. If this happened, this will happen. If anybody does it.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Oh, you were talking about the San Jose shooting, the guy that went and shot up 9 employees? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was awful. His name was Samuel Cassidy. And I don't know how long he was employed there. But they say that, I think it was his wife or his neighbors. It was somebody that said, that they interviewed that said that he always talked about going in there and shooting up the place.
Shut up. Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
He always talked about going to his job. He always talked about going to his job and killing coworkers.
Oh, who does that?
And you know what the sad thing about it is? They always say things like, even when you think about domestic violence cases, every time I pass by a women's shelter, I think about this. It's just like, the woman calls the police over and over and over again. Well, man, we can't do anything because the person's not here anymore, or, where is he? Nobody knows where the guy ended up going or whatever, like that. Well, he's threatening me. He's going to come back and kill me and the kids. Well, man, we can't do anything on the threat.
Right.
You just got to call us when something happens.
Right. I might not be able to call you when something happens.
No, you mean you're going to be expecting a call from my neighbors.
Okay. Because something happened.
To say that I'm laying out in the front yard.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just like, that part right there is like, I mean, it's just really sad because sometimes they just feel like, well, whatever, call us when, something really happens and everything. And if somebody would have, let's say that somebody did just go to the police and say, hey, this guy is talking about, he's always talking crazy about going in and shooting up the place. And, I don't know. Well, his record looks clean. He doesn't have a record at all, police record. So, don't worry about it.
Right.
If you see him with a gun, he's out here in the front yard shooting up something, give us a call.
Then give us a call. Yeah, okay.
So he got the call. They got the call, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They got the call that this man is over here and he killed 8 people. The 9th person was in a hospital in critical condition that ended up passing this morning. So, I mean, what?
That's crazy. All men. They were all men. And did he know these people?
Well, he worked with them.
Oh my gosh.
They say he was passing people in the hallway and they was running. He said, I'm not going to shoot you.
Oh my God. I know that had to be like.
That's how come them people in them jobs need to stop playing.
Okay.
They need to stop playing. Because you don't never know when your card is up.
And when somebody is going to really snap. Like, they just, not you, because I know exactly who I'm here for.
Exactly.
Wow.
Why people playing games, you know what I mean? Bosses and stuff like that. They don't know how to infect people. Mm-hmm. They fire people or they write people up, and things like that, or make fun of people.
Yep.
How about that? Mm-hmm. Talk behind people's back, things like that. Gets back around all the time. Mm-hmm. So, and then what happens? And then you're looking crazy when somebody coming there to blow your goddamn head off.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then you're looking crazy like, I don't know what I did. Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have to worrying about anything else.
Okay.
How about that?
Wow. Yeah.
Why you playing?
People are, and you don't know people's breaking points, and
you never know. That's why they always say it's a thin line.
Yeah.
Between love and hate. It's a very thin line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people walk on that line. They tap on that line. You never know.
Right.
You just never know.
That is so sad that 9 people dead. Did he die? Is he still alive?
Every time there's a mass shooting, this is the part that gets me. Well, I don't know what was wrong. You didn't see them people in there in that classroom teasing that little girl, that little boy.
Right.
Well, y'all did absolutely nothing, and his mama kept coming up there and saying that her child was being bullied, and y'all didn't do nothing about it.
Right.
The bully, or take the bully to his mama and get his mama shit and suspend him. You mean to tell me that y'all didn't know nothing was going to happen? Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't do shit.
Right.
So please, stop acting surprised when somebody come and blow your head off.
Right.
Because y'all don't do nothing. And then everybody sitting up, if they would have just had if we had just had I should have just kept my mouth closed. This wouldn't have happened.
It's too late.
We should have done something about the bullying. We should have done this. We should have did that. But it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
It's too late. The person has got a gun and came up here, shot the teacher, half of the damn classroom.
Right.
Then killed himself.
Right.
It's an afterthought.
Yep.
It's always the afterthought instead of thinking beforehand and saying, you know what? Let me just do the right thing here.
Right.
And that right thing would be to handle something if somebody is being harassed.
Right.
Speak up if somebody's being mistreated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or if somebody's not being honest, speak on it. You know what I mean? Or, while you in the office setting or whatever, if maybe, I don't know what happened with this guy and his coworkers, so maybe they picked on him. Right. Maybe they made him feel like an outcast and things like that. And maybe nobody did anything. Everybody thought it was a big joke. These people have underlying reasons. They just don't show up with a gun. Just
right. Be like, okay, here, you know what? I'm going to go shoot some people today. No. It's a build up. It's build up until they hit that thin line where it's not even a thought no more.
I'm tired.
I'm done. You said he was talking about it to people, his neighbors, so it's been in his mind, but it was the topper. Something was the topper. And it's sad, but it's true. And that's why we have to remember not to just period. We learn this in school. Like you said, the school bully turns into the coworker bully that turns into the whatever kind of bully. Like, it just goes, but there's consequences to being a bully. the person that you effing with is going to have enough. They're going to get to the part, hopefully, I mean, either way, it could be enough to where they take their own life, or it could be enough to where they're going to take your life. So,
they're going to take your life, and then they're going to take their own.
And then they take their own.
People they kill. Yeah. Because this gentleman here in San Jose, he ended up taking his own life.
Oh, did he? That's what I was going to ask you. Oh, he did?
Yeah, he ended up taking his own life. And see, here's the thing with bullies. If bullies, you know, they usually bully because they're not happy with the home life, or, you know, it's the way their parents treat them or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just something, you know. They're bigger than other kids and stuff like that. And it's going to be the bully because they're kind of, you know, maybe popular or what have you. And then a lot of other kids start hanging around this bully. They know he's a bully, but they hang around with that bully because that bully's popular.
Right.
So the bully goes and bullies the weaker kids, the weaklings, I should say. And then, you know, the people that are hanging around with the bully, they get shot too.
Uh-huh.
You know, because they're laughing and kind of like egging this bully on.
Right. They're cheerleader. Like, oh, yeah, this is so funny.
Yeah, exactly. Because they don't ever want to be in those shoes, but they know it's wrong.
Right.
So they end up dying too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's the school's problem too. You know, the schools, the superintendent of schools, the principals and things like that, because they don't address those issues as promptly as they should.
Right. They don't.
It always ends in tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And I, you know, I've heard so many times mothers on the news saying how they went to the school, how they sent letters, how they made phone calls, how they talked about this and talked about that, and their child being bullied and the kids coming back home and doing this and saying that. And they're just like, we addressed it. You didn't address nothing.
Address it.
Because it didn't stop.
Right. If you addressed it, then he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in right now.
That's right. And did you go, and the bully's still at school?
Right.
Really? Why is the bully still here?
Yeah.
You didn't do nothing.
Still bullying. So they got to the point of the person that's being bullied to, they was like, you know what? Screw you.
I'm done.
Out. I'm out.
I'm done. Absolutely.
Out. And it's just that simple. It is just that simple. Unfortunately, but it is. It's that simple. They get to the point where it's enough is enough. So I feel for the families, you know.
I do too.
Lost their loved ones and everything, but it's not but. That's that. But lesson learned to anyone, you know, like I don't know if they was a bully or not, but just be mindful. Just be mindful. Be mindful.
Yeah, because he knew who he was going to kill.
Targeted. Yeah, okay, for a reason. For a reason. And we work in human resources. We hear a lot of stuff. So, you know, some of that stuff you be like, wow. You know, wow. Okay. They did what? They say what to who and why? Okay. Those are the ones that's going thin line.
It really is. And, you know, sometimes you have to see there's so many different personalities working in these establishments. You know, and people don't understand each other. People don't want to understand each other. And when you different, you from the status quo, they treat you so. You're making everybody else uncomfortable. So you become the outcast.
Right.
You know, and then the group, like this man that he targeted, there was something about that group that he didn't like.
Yeah.
And there was something happening between him and that group.
They were all men. There were no females. They were all men. So something.
Yeah. It was something. It was something.
Yeah.
Maybe they cheated him out of the football pool or something else.
You didn't win. You're not getting your money.
Oh, I know I won. You know, it could have been anything. You know,
it
could have just been anything. But he had a group of folks, I tell you.
He did. He sure did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Well, God bless their families. All of their families.
Exactly.
You have a soapbox. The Tulsa, Oklahoma massacres. You found out something about
we're coming up on the 100th year I hate to say anniversary because anniversary is always
like a
good
celebration,
thing.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
In May 31st and June 1st of 1920, everybody pretty much knows about the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre
Mm-hmm.
of the Black Wall Street. So we're at 100 years
Wow.
at the end of this month. And something else I learned today too is that they're going to be having a series, a limited series, or is in the works about this
Oh.
exact thing, the massacre, and it's going to be featuring Angela Bassett and her husband Courtney
Oh.
Vance will be part of that whole thing, and it's going to be from MTV Entertainment Studios.
Oh.
So
Oh.
they will have a hand in that as well, and I think that is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that is awesome. But you know, we always shine a light on this one. This one's a big one. In 1920, it was huge. It was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
for those who don't know, it was some black folks that built a town. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they had their own grocery store, their own bank, their own post office. They didn't depend on the white man for anything. And the white man didn't like it.
Of course.
And so what happened was they ended up rioting and burning that town down, period. And I believe today there's one survivor of that whole thing.
One?
There's one. She spoke, I think a week or two ago. She was on the news, one survivor that went through that whole thing. And I think she's an older lady. I think she was a kid then, or a young adult, or a teenager or something. Yeah. So that's really, really sad. Yeah, but you know, and then there's other massacres that, you know, we did do Rosewood. I remember the story on Rosewood. That was like years ago. That took place in 1923, you know. And then they even had one in Detroit as early as 1943.
Oh,
there was
wow.
a massacre in Detroit. In 1943, that's not that long ago.
No, it's
that's
not.
The age of our parents or something.
Yeah, they lived through that.
Yeah, and then they had one in Philadelphia in 1985.
Ooh, wow.
I think that's when that helicopter dropped that bomb on that building where the black folks lived. They called them Africans or something, and they didn't like them. I think I saw that movie. I think that was it, if I'm not mistaken. And in Washington and Chicago, they had one in 1919. So there were a lot of massacres, and that's not even half of them. There were so many massacres of white people burning down our towns, lynching us because they didn't want us to do business for ourselves or for our people. What they wanted to happen is they wanted us to depend on them for our necessities.
Right.
Okay? Instead, we try to make a way for ourselves, and they did not like it. The business became competitive. You know, it took away their money that they were making off of us, giving us scraps. You know, and they just did not want. There was not an equal playing field. They were just so afraid, and they were just so mad because there was somebody else in the same business that they were, somebody trying to do these things for themselves, and they didn't think we were worthy enough. So what they would do is they would come into town and they would burn it down, and people that fought against them were lynched.
Right.
They were lynched. They were hung from the trees. They were dragged down the streets and things like that. And these are just honest business people trying to make a way. Black people trying to make a way. You know, and it's really sad that you know, that's what happens. But you know, one thing I want to talk about too that came on that I was really glad to see yesterday. But you know, after a while, you're just like, you know, I'm tired of the first this and the first that.
Right.
But it was a lady named Karen Jean Pierre. She was the first Black woman in 30 years to host the daily White House press briefing yesterday.
Oh wow! The first. Oh.
And I think she had an afro.
Oh.
If I wasn't mistaken.
Power to the peoples.
I You know, it was so funny because when I saw it, I was like, what's she? I thought, what's she doing up there? I thought, you know what? I'm not trying to be funny. I thought she was finna introduce somebody.
Okay. You're like, okay. All right. Oh.
But no.
She the speaker. No.
Yeah. She was answering questions.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Look at here.
Okay. I was really happy about that. But then I was sad at the same time because, you know, the first. Like, what? In 2021?
Right. How is we
we're still saying first?
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. That's a good point. We should have first of everything that anybody else have had.
Yeah. And you know, a lot of people right now, well, not a lot of people, but some people are, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Simone, did you see Simone?
No.
She is the gymnast.
Oh, did I? No, I didn't see her. What'd she do?
Okay, so she did this little run. I don't know what she did. It just, she got on the vault and she did a triple X or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Whatever they do.
She did a flip or something.
Yeah. But it was beautiful.
Mm.
Never been done before. And people were so excited.
Oh, wow.
And she did it twice.
Let me see this.
Honey, them folks ain't happy. Because what they said was that they're kind of like talking down right now. There was an article in the New York Times and they kind of like talking down about it, kind of penalizing her and saying what she has done is something that nobody else has done and probably will not be able to do. So what she's going to do is she's going to she set the bar so high that she's going to push other people from competing in the sport because what she did was so difficult. Well, whose problem is that?
Right. She trained to do that.
What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to dumb down.
Right.
We're not supposed to go at our full ability.
Right.
To keep you comfortable.
Yes. No. Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. Y'all can try that shit back in the day.
They said it's too difficult.
It
says it's too difficult. You says it's too difficult. Yeah. Evidently it's not because this little black girl did it twice.
She did it. So it's difficult for you to catch up.
And maybe somebody that really want to do it, maybe they need to go with her coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe figure out how, instead of just saying, that's just too difficult. It's not going to happen. She's going to turn people off from the sport. What a thing to say.
Right.
Why burst that lady's bubble? But they said they did the same thing to Venus and her sister, you know, with the tennis players and everything. They always, they minimize them because of the color of their skin.
Yeah. That's crazy. That is so crazy.
It happens all the time. And I do understand that this guy the other day, he was a not Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta basketball team. Honey, one of the people that was in the stands, a fan spit on him.
Spit? Now that's just the worst thing. You can get your face.
And what they did was they banned him from the arena. Banned him? No, you call the police because spitting on somebody is an assault.
Yeah, it is an assault.
So why was it the police?
And we in a pandemic still. So why are you spitting on me? Are you crazy?
Why are you spitting on me? You know you a fan or whatever, and your team got in trouble or whatever for fouling me or whatever they did, and you gonna spit on me?
Right.
Because I'm getting ready to take the ball out or something? Man, please.
Okay. We all sit down somewhere. Sit
down.
And you
know what? And these folks need to stop taking that and stop listening to these coaches and stuff like that, while we're the ones sitting up there getting tormented.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the first thing he said, don't worry about it. We're going to kick him out. He can't come back in the arena. That ain't good enough.
Ooh.
Call the police. That's not good enough. Leave him right there and call the police.
Right. Because he just assaulted him.
And have them come and get him, arrest him, so it can be on his record.
Yeah.
what are we doing? We always say, well, no, I'm not going to do that. No, it's okay. And then hindsight, you look back and say, I should have done it.
Yeah.
Because that's not teaching that person a lesson.
Right. They're going to do it again. That's the same thing we talking about with the George Floyd thing. You be like, I ain't going to do that. And then now look. Now look what happened.
Yep.
That's gross. I mean,
that's really gross.
They should have
really gross.
Arrested him. They should have kept him and banned him. Get arrested and you're banned.
And banned him. So who gonna remember his face when he come to a gun game?
Right.
Nobody?
With millions and millions of people in there. Come on, man.
Nobody?
He gonna get ticket. He was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna buy the ticket, but I'm gonna have my homeboy buy a ticket. I'm gonna be in there. Come on. Okay. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Ugh, that's so sad. Let's see here. What do we have? Oh, so I had I've been watching my reality shows, and I'm not really. There's so many of them. I haven't even been able to catch up with all of them because I've been busy, and I have a lot on my DVR, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't watch my show. I can't watch any of my shows.
Oh wow.
But I've been seeing in the news the week before when we was on here was talking about Porsha from the Real Housewives of Atlanta is dating or engaged to one of the co-stars. The lady don't hold a peach, but she was a friend of, that's what it says, right. Friend of Porsha's on the show. Well, this recently, like a couple of days ago, the Shade Room reported that they were in a club. Simon and Porsha was in some kind of club, and they was throwing up dozens of napkins like they was making it rain. Like, what are y'all doing? What is the problem? You know what the problem is? They're getting a spinoff. They're getting a spinoff from the show. So they're making themselves relevant, seen, so that you can hype it up. So when they get the spinoff, then you're going to be engaged in the show. But it's actually, for me personally, it's making me not like Porsha, because I used to like Porsha. I do like Porsha, but hearing this stuff, well, if she taking people man, and the ladies even said that she's not taking my man because we was already going through whatever divorce. It's just the girl code that y'all knew each other. Like, you knew the girl, and that's her husband. In January, they going through whatever divorce situations that they going through, and then you just slid in like, boom, here I am, and y'all selling off into the sunset.
Yeah, because from what I understood, Porsha and her dude was friends with dude or something, and they had went over to their house before a couple of times or something.
That's what they saying. That is what they saying. And then they taking pictures together, all three of them. Porsha, her baby daddy, and Simon, the new dude. So it just looks weird. And you guys are just out here throwing napkins in the air, taking pictures on boats. I'm engaged, and, big old pictures of you rock, and it's just like so much.
Do you believe it? Do you believe they're really engaged? Or you think all this stuff is just for the hype, like you said, for another show?
That's what I think it is. I think it's hype for another show. She's going to play it. Porsha has always been like a dingy, for lack of better words, chick. Mm-hmm. And she's like the fall for it kind of girl. Like, she just going to fall for it and do whatever she going to do. To be
desperate.
There it is right there. Desperate.
Now listen, was the little girl's father? Were they engaged? Were they engaged?
Yeah, they were engaged.
Really?
They were engaged to be married. They sure were. And she, yeah. One season, the whole thing, she was trying to get him to give her a ring. And that season right there, I'm like, she's like, it was just about her trying to figure out how to make him give her a ring. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, you just... If you got to do all that, don't do it. Don't do it. So...
It ain't real. He's feeling pressured. So.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't happen. So, they got engaged, but y'all didn't get married. You didn't get married, now you with this other... And the guy is a millionaire, so she's just loving all of this. The new guy. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm almost over it to where if they do a spinoff, I might not be watching that, and that's big for me because I watch pretty much everything that's out.
And it's so funny because, I don't understand some women sometimes. They say, well, I got a millionaire. Oh, he got money. Oh, he a billionaire, whatever. That don't make him a good man.
It don't. It don't make him a good man. He didn't.
That does not make him a good man.
Did something to his former wife to the point where they got a divorce. Uh-oh. So whatever he did, well, he probably was cheating with other women, which it was like a whole nother lady that was talking about she was dating the guy at the same time that Porsha was dating him. So it's just too many people out in this world, and Porsha is a beautiful girl. She don't have to. I'm not.
And who was kind of right?
Yeah. And I stopped to say she don't have to but any woman, it don't matter if you beautiful or not. No woman has to put up with that because he has money. There's people who have money that will love you for who you are, and
period.
So why you just can't go find that man? Why you gotta find the little gutter man because he got money?
Or let that man find you.
Yeah, let that man find you and stop looking because she is very desperate. Desperate. So, I'm cool. You was talking about 2 shows you've been watching.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's I've been watching, and I kind of binge watched it too a little bit. A Black Lady sketch show.
Oh, yeah. With
girl,
Robin
they
Thede.
are hilarious. Girl, my stomach hurts so bad from laughing at them.
Oh, wow.
The little sketches that they put on, I just can't. I'm just like, oh my God. It is just so funny. And also, on Stars, they have a show called We Run the World. And he's about 4 friends. And they are hilarious. They are so funny.
Okay. I'm going to have to watch those. Both of them.
And it's like, I can't miss a show. I'm just keep turning the TV. I'm like, I gotta find it out. Because, I just kind of like happened to find it. And I just started watching it. But I know you have Stars because you were watching that one show we watched all the time.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I have it. I'm going to watch that.
Ghost in him.
Who? Ghost. Power.
Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So We Run the World comes on that same channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch that.
So, you're going to love it. It is so funny. They are so hilarious, girl. It kind of makes me laugh. Sometimes I just feel like that, it's so funny. And it has Black women.
Yeah.
I like, because it's like, Black women. And they're not hung up on a man.
Good.
And they're kind of like living their lives and they're doing things. And, they just out here doing it. And it's I think it's great to see us doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that many shows that that depict us in that kind of light. It's always like, I want a man. Come help me.
At home.
Yeah.
We got a whole kids.
Right.
All that. Stop. No.
Yeah. Yep. We live regular lives and have fun. Yes.
And those that choose not to get married, or those choose not to have children, and all those things. Let's put some light on those women.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch
that are actually successful and love their jobs. How about that?
That's cool. I'm gonna check both of those out. I watched the Black Lady.
That sketch show, those different sketches, girl. Those women be playing them parts, girl, and they are so freaking funny.
I'm gonna watch it.
They are so funny.
I watched. It's on the Fox 11 channel. It's called Rise Up. They have it on Fox 11. They got it on online and everything. It's just a little 30-minute segments that they've been doing since the anniversary of George Floyd and the anniversary of all the riots and all this other stuff. So they created like a 4-day, 5-day, 30-minute segment where they talk to like the reporters that reported the stories of the riots and all that stuff. They had Rodney King's daughter was on there. She said that she when it first happened, like the riot and the George Floyd and all that stuff happened, she said her phone just started blowing up, and they was like, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? And she's like, no, I didn't see. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, turn on the news. And so when she turned the news on, she said when she was flipping through the channels, she seen something, but she said she's been so like, I don't want to see nothing, because her dad was Rodney King. So when she see like stuff happening, she like hurry up and go past it. So she really wasn't paying attention until she seen it, and she was like, I couldn't watch that. I just couldn't watch it. And just to see her, I don't even know how old she was with her dad when that happened to her dad. But it was really good. I only seen like one or like 1.5 of the episodes, but I've been recording it, and it kind of brought me back to just being in that moment, watching those reporters, watching people who were protesting, peacefully protesting, and then those other people just coming in and effing everything up and starting to loot and pulling and pushing and throwing rocks and bottles and all. It was like really chaotic. And to hear those, and to hear those reporters that were in the middle, like in the center of the battlegrounds, trying to report the stories, it's just like they were talking about how they actually felt, because they couldn't tell you in the moment. But now they're explaining, how they felt when they were there and they were seeing these things. One of Bobby DeCastro, who's a reporter on Channel 11 News, he was saying that he was at his house when all of this was happening. So he said he just grabbed his cell phone, because like the epicenter of some of it that happened in the West Side was right outside of his house. So he went and took his phone and he started reporting from his cell phone. And had his phone, he said, and I was just like walking down the street with everybody else and reporting the news and reporting everything that was happening. So I was like, whoa, that's just a lot.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot. So I recorded the rest of the week. I'll check that out hopefully by this weekend. Ooh, we get a holiday. We have a holiday coming up, Memorial Day.
Yes. Ooh.
So maybe I can catch up on all my stuff.
Memorial Day, girl.
Memorial Day, I'm going to be here. I'm going to go find me some barbecue. I'm going to find some. I'm not making none because I can't do it. And I'm going to sit here and watch all the shows that I said I want to watch. Everything.
Oh, yeah, you got to do some catching up.
I got some catching up to do. I got like
You got to do some catching up, girl. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like you said, I don't know if I want any barbecue, though. I'm kind of barbecued out. I've been having barbecue for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't need barbecue.
Yeah.
I think I may do something in my air fryer.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe give me some chicken wings or something, some drumettes or something, and do a little something in my air fryer. Try it out and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. I haven't hooked mine up. I'm going to hook mine up this weekend.
I got to find a good recipe, a good chicken recipe, too.
I might, you know what? Since you said that, I might try to do something in there. Make something different than barbecue.
Make something different,
Yeah.
And then throw some good sides on that.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Look at us creating our Memorial Day recipe.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about, you know what? Go get me a pineapple and get me a cantaloupe and give me some strawberries and some blueberries and cut it all up and put in a big bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Give me a good, give me some good fruit. Put it in the I remember when I was a teenager and a young adult, I used to go and just buy all this fruit and just cut it all up and just wash it, cut it all up and put it in a big bowl and just eat it by the bowls and just go watch TV and just eat it by the bowls. I used to just love, especially this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Close to summertime with all the
my God. Oh my God.
Fruits. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cutting up them peaches and stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the nectarines, girl. Oh my God, that salad. I mean, that fruit salad. It would be so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love nectarines and peaches. Oh, it's about to be that season, huh? Yes.
I'll be sitting on a little stool in the kitchen, cleaning that stuff and cutting it all up.
Like, this gonna be good. Ooh, this gonna be good.
I couldn't wait. And I could just take a little bowl, to work and everything. Oh my God. But it's so funny, but half of the food don't even taste like it used to.
It sure don't. It really don't. It really don't. Some of the fruits and stuff that you really love, when you taste, it's like, you don't taste the same.
You can't taste nothing.
Yeah. It's no flavor. Something that it made for us.
Not even flavorful.
They created it.
Mm-hmm.
So for the bullshit and beauty, real quick. I I just wanted to say the bullshit is that people have people have to lose their lives in order for like in a really bad way in order for us to get any type of like recognition, like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the Dante Wrights and Rashard Brooks. Like people have to lose their lives for them to be celebrated now. Now all you know is George Floyd. Nobody knew who George Floyd was. Nobody would ever knew who George Floyd was. But until he's in his death, we now know all about George Floyd and his family. And, you know, he was loved. That is what the beauty is to see that this man and Breonna and all of them, all of their people, their families come out and just tell you how loving and, you know, stories about their family members that had, some of them had nothing to do with nothing. Like Breonna Taylor. She had nothing to do with nothing.
She laying in her bed sleep.
She sleep. She don't even know what hit her. She's knocked out. She had nothing to do with nothing.
And even that guy that was sitting in Texas, sitting on his couch eating a bowl of ice cream.
Bowl of ice cream. Getting off of work. Oh, let me get me some ice cream. Somebody come in your house and kill you? Nothing to do with nothing. But now their names, their faces, their situations are forever stained in our brain. Like we are forever going to know these people by these heinous crimes. And so this, not crime. Well, they are crimes. They are heinous crimes because these people
they really are. Yeah. They really are. And you know what? And just to piggyback off of what you just said, absolutely. These people were killed. Innocent people. Mm-hmm. You know, they were killed. They were murdered. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Now tell me, why is it so hard now to pass a law to say, you know, we're not doing the no-knock, you know, warrant things.
Right.
You know, we don't have to we don't have to knock on your door. We can just bust in and just start shooting up the place.
Right.
Why is that so hard to make a law and say we're not doing that anymore?
Right.
Why is it so hard to say we're not going to choke people anymore, you know, when we're trying to apprehend them?
Yeah.
We can't make that a law?
Right.
Why is it so hard for these people to say, okay, well, we're sorry, well, that shouldn't happen. Well, prove it.
Yeah.
And make it a law against it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know in some states they still have not taken lynching off the books? Lynching has not become a crime or a law.
That's
a law
crazy.
against lynching. They're still lynching in some states, and they have not taken it off the books.
See, there you go. We in the 21st century. Stop it. You don't need to be having those kind of laws. It's just unnecessary. It's not right. It's not right.
It's not right. And then you talking about liberty and justice for all?
Who's all? Not us, not black
what
people.
Justice?
We're not, or justice. Who's justice and who's all? Because we don't fit in none of them boxes. We can't check that box because we're not all, and we don't know nothing about your justice because it's not for us. It's not for us, and it's unfair. It really is. And so, like, the beauty is that people love those individuals, and their names will live on forever. Forever.
Yes.
They will be in textbooks. They will be in magazines. Maybe. They will be, depending on where you look. Don't get it twisted. Depending on where school you going to.
Yeah.
If it has to be a big unified school district, you may not be able to see none of that. But
you may, because they're not approving. They approving anything like that for them books on.
Yeah.
They do not want to shed the light on those people. Saying that they did something wrong to another race of people.
Yep.
They shed that light. They never will.
Nope. They don't want that. They don't want that history to be in print.
Yeah, they call us slaves. We weren't slaves.
Right.
You know, we were people that were kidnapped and enslaved.
Yep. Exactly.
We were minding our own business in our own country.
Right. Chilling. Doing what we do.
They came and got us and said, you're going to work for free. And you're going to do what I tell you to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to rape your women. And I'm going to rape you too.
Right. Okay. Yes.
And that's it. Oh, and I'm going to create all these laws. When you guys get free, I'm going to create all these laws and stuff like that. You're going to become a second-class citizen. Mm-hmm. And you're going to do some kind of slave labor for us. If that means putting all y'all asses in jail.
Yep.
You're going to work in jail. You're not going to do nothing. And when you get out of jail, you ain't going to be able to vote. And so we're going to do everything to keep you guys oppressed.
Yep. To stop you. You right.
Yep.
That's crazy. Well, y'all, we done made it to the end of episode 96.
Yes, we have.
This has just been me podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we will, you will hear from us. Not you won't see us, but you will hear from us next week. Thank you.
Yeah. You have a great 3-day weekend, folks, and stay safe out there.
Yes, I can't wait. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.